Alright, real quick before I actually get into this, I'm trying to set up the mic so a way that's not like wobbly as all shit, because my table sucks. And what I'm going to use is this copy of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain that I stole when I was in middle school. Whoops. Alright, first video's up. The next logical step is to rearrange my bedroom and remove almost all visual continuity between the first and second videos. Check that off, and it seems like up next I just need to find something to talk about. Yeah, this works. This isn't gonna... Oh, wait. Hold up. Can he try? Sorry, future Dustin. He's just sitting here, trying his best. In 1977, Disney released The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, a collection of 3 featurettes based on novels by A.A. Milne. Why does that sound familiar? Whilst The Jungle Book was technically the last feature that Disney worked on before he passed, this movie served as the last one that had his involvement. This is due to him having worked on both Pooh and the Honey Tree and Blustery Day. Among these featurettes were other scenes added to tie the film together, as well as adding a conclusion. How well were they able to make a movie out of these featurettes? Let's take a look. Hi, 4:30 in the morning, Dustin with an exciting news bulletin. I forgot to put anything in the intro that gave a personal connection between me and this movie. I watched Winnie the Pooh a lot growing up. This movie, as well as some of the other ones, Tigger's Big Movie, I have like a very distinct memory of watching in my aunt and uncle's bedroom with my cousin. Anyway, one thing that I wanted to hit home and for some reason didn't put in the script was that growing up, I really love these movies, and I think the reason why I haven't gone back to Winnie the Pooh in a while is because when I was around whatever age the Heffalump movie came out, give me like 1 second. In 2005, when the Heffalump movie came out, I was 6 years old, and I remember being at a movie of some kind and seeing a preview for this movie and being like, oh, I kind of want to see that, even though I hadn't been watching the Winnie the Pooh movies that often. And my sister, who I love, proceeded to say, you want to watch that, and kind of making it out as Winnie the Pooh movies are for babies. And of course, when your big sister says a movie's for babies, you listen to her. So I never watched them after that. And as much as I love my sister, I blame her for doing a lot of stuff like that to me, making me not enjoy things that I like because she thought they were dumb. Anyway, back to the video. We open on a shot of a live-action bedroom showing Winnie the Pooh books and stuffed animals of the many characters. The narrator reveals that this room belongs to none other than Christopher Robin and leads into an opening theme.
A donkey named Eeyore is his friend, and Kanga and Little Roo.
This song is... Piglet looks nothing like he does in the rest of the movie. We are then introduced to the lead character, Pooh, who goes into a song about exercise.
Up, down, up, when I up, down.
Touch the ground, up, down, touch the ground, for food. I am stout, loud, and I have found speaking powdered wise. I will improve my appetite when I exercise.
Soon afterwards, Pooh, having run out of honey, kicks off the plot of the first chapter by going off and looking for more. One thing I love about this scene is that whilst looking for honey in a tree, he falls and as he does, goes stiff like an actual stuffed bear. This, along with the stitching on his back from earlier, really helps to hit home the idea that this is a stuffed animal and that all of this is taking place in Christopher Robin's imagination. Not being able to find any honey himself, Pooh decides to ask for the help of Christopher Robin, who is fixing Eeyore's tail, along with Kanga, Roo, and Owl.
Morning, Pooh Bear.
If it is a good morning, which I doubt.
Jeez, Eeyore, lighten up. Pooh asks to use Robin's balloon to help him get honey, rolls around in mud to make him look like...
I'm a little black rain cloud, of course.
And floats up to the bee's nest. This, of course, leads to Pooh reaching into the nest to grab some honey, reaching out with a hand covered with honey, and bees.
Cloud
This still makes my skin crawl just looking at it.
under the honey tree.
No! I don't like it. Pooh spits out the bees, thank God, and proceeds to get swarmed. After an unsuccessful attempt by Christopher Robin to convince the bees that Pooh is in fact a rain cloud, one especially angry bee manages to hit Pooh so hard that he gets stuck in the tree that houses their nest. The pressure of all the bees in the nest causes Pooh to shoot out, riding a now deflated balloon around the tree and eventually straight up into the air. After Pooh falls into Christopher's arms, they both get swarmed by the bees and take cover in a mud puddle underneath Robin's umbrella. Shortly after this, we have Pooh still looking for honey, this time attempting to convince Rabbit to invite him for lunch.
Oh, hello, Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear! What a pleasant surprise. How about lunch?
Rabbit reluctantly invites Pooh for lunch, allowing him to consume all of Rabbit's honey. After gorging himself, Pooh attempts to leave and gets himself stuck in the front door. Seeing Pooh stuck in the door, Rabbit runs off to get Christopher Robin and Eeyore.
We'll get you out.
Well, maybe.
I'm starting to understand why Eeyore has a cult following. After a fruitless attempt to save Pooh, Christopher decides that the best course of action is to just sit and wait for Pooh to get thinner. Sure. Realizing he's going to be stuck staring at Pooh's ass for a while, Rabbit decides to decorate it as a moose.
Bad. Not bad at all.
I would love to recreate the scene hanging on my wall, preferably in this empty space right here. Ah, no, on my shoulder. This goes great until Pooh sniffs some honeysuckle, sneezes, and makes the whole thing fall apart.
Oh, no. Hold it. Oh, no.
So days go by with Pooh and Rabbit still waiting for the bear to get thinner, when one night Gopher comes along on his lunch break. Gopher, going through his lunchbox, almost gives Pooh some honey before Rabbit intervenes, putting up a "Don't feed the bear" sign and scaring off Gopher. Days later, Rabbit goes to lean on Pooh Bear, and he finally budges. After a brief parade, everyone pitches in to free Pooh from his dirt prison, launching him 3 pages over back to the bee's nest. This forces the bees in question out of the top of the tree and leads to Pooh, once again, getting himself stuck. Only this time, he doesn't seem to mind as much.
Take your time. Yum, yum.
The next chapter shows a very windy 100-acre woods, so windy in fact that it's blowing away the letters on the book. This chapter introduces us to Piglet, who, mere minutes into his screen time, begins to get blown around like a kite.
Oh, that was a close one.
Me. Happy Wednesday, Eeyore.
Thanks for noticing me.
Nice. After getting blown across the 100-acre woods, both Piglet and Pooh get slammed against Owl's window. Owl lets the two of them inside and goes on about a previous windstorm before the tree that his house is perched in ends up getting blown over by the wind. The other characters rush over to assess the damage, deciding that they're better off finding Owl a new house. Later that night, we see Pooh sitting in bed, afraid of the noises that he's hearing from outside. Deciding to investigate, Pooh, brandishing a gun, sorta, opens up his front door, letting in Tigger.
Oh, I hope nobody answers.
Hello, I'm Tigger.
Tigger goes through his whole spiel about being the only one, gets confused and scared by a mirror, and starts eating Pooh's honey that he said he loved before realizing he hated it. Man, I never realized how much of a jerk Tigger was. After planting images of heffalumps and woozles into Pooh's mind, Tigger bounced, leaving behind a frightened Pooh Bear. After this, Pooh stays up to watch out for heffalumps and woozles before falling asleep and going into an Alice in Wonderland-esque nightmare.
They come in ones and twosles, but if they so choosels, before your eyes you'll see them multiply. Fly.
Pooh wakes up to a flooded house as the windstorm has now turned to rain. This flood went up to the treetops, flooding everyone's home except for Christopher Robin's, prompting everyone to gather there except for Pooh, Piglet, and Eeyore.
Eeyore stubbornly stuck to his task of house hunting for Owl.
There's one. Cozy cottage. Nice location. Bit damp for Owl, though.
Lovely. Owl flies off to go rescue Pooh and Piglet. However, it's somehow misconstrued that Pooh saved Piglet when the only thing that really happened was they switched flotation devices.
You rescued Piglet.
I did?
Yes, and it was a very brave thing to do.
It was?
See, even he's confused by it. This leads to Christopher Robin throwing Pooh a hero party, which is cut short by Eeyore announcing that he found Owl's new house. Eeyore then leads the group over to Piglet's house, saying it belongs to Owl because his name is on the sign.
Name's on it and everything. W-O-L. That spells Owl.
Man, fuck Eeyore. With Owl now living in Piglet's house, because sure, Pooh offers to let Piglet stay with him, which Piglet accepts. They then have Piglet share Pooh's hero party, since he heroically gave up his home for Owl. This shouldn't make me as upset as it does. The next chapter is all about Tigger as he bounces all around the 100-acre woods, borderline assaulting people.
I'm saving my best pounds for old long ears.
That's gonna go well. Tigger ruins Rabbit's garden, prompting Longears himself to try and convince Piglet and Pooh to try and stop Tigger from bouncing altogether. Rabbit comes up with a plan to lose Tigger in the woods, find him the next morning, and hopefully convince him to stop bouncing from there. The trio succeeded in their plan to lose Tigger, but end up getting lost themselves due to the heavy fog. Coming back to the same sandpit over and over again, Pooh comes up with the idea to look for the sandpit, thinking they'll find home instead.
If, as soon as we're out of sight of this old pit, we just try to find it again.
What's the good of that?
I just thought that if we look for this pit, we might find home.
Solid logic. Rabbit is against this idea, and in trying to prove Pooh wrong, ends up getting even more lost himself. After waiting around for Rabbit, Pooh decides to head for home again, saying that his honeypots calling for him will lead him home. As the mist thins out, Pooh and Piglet come across Tigger and realize how lost Rabbit must still be. This prompts Tigger to go off on his own yet again, this time looking for Rabbit. Rabbit, having found himself in a swamp, is frightened by the unfamiliar surroundings and sounds of the local wildlife. Tigger easily finds Rabbit, stating that Tiggers never get lost, much to Rabbit's dismay. In the next chapter, the first snowfall has arrived in the 100-acre woods, and Tigger has decided to take Roo bouncing. After a brief ice skating accident with Rabbit, Tigger bounces himself and Roo up a tree, getting stuck at the top, when Tigger realizes he's afraid of heights.
Say, how did this tree get so high?
Pooh and Piglet, who were unknowingly tracking themselves, end up finding Tigger and Roo and call for help. Roo easily jumps down and gets caught by Christopher Robin's coat. However, Tigger is still too afraid to come down.
Jump? Tiggers don't jump, they bounce.
This leads to the narrator, who, by the way, has been letting characters break the fourth wall this whole time, tipping over the book and allowing Tigger to slide down on the letters. While he was up there, however, Tigger promised Rabbit that if he ever got down, he would quit bouncing, and now he has to face those consequences. This upsets everyone, as they all love the bouncy Tigger best, with even Rabbit feeling guilty about making him stop. Rabbit caves in, admitting that he likes the old Tigger better, and lets him start bouncing again, even joining in himself and enjoying it.
Well, come on, everybody. Come on!
pounds. Come on, Bounce.
This leads to a slight issue I have with the movie. Because it is a collection of featurettes stitched together into a movie, the conflicts resolve themselves very quickly. And as standalone featurettes, that works really well. But when you put them into a feature-length movie, everything seems to just happen too quickly, and it makes everything feel kind of disjointed. So this leads to everyone bouncing in, giving a nice conclusion to this chapter. The final chapter plays as a nice little goodbye, with Christopher Robin having to go back to school and Pooh saying that he's going to miss him. After a heartfelt goodbye, the book closes and we get a wink from live-action Pooh. I still absolutely love this movie, but my god is it hard to review. The chapter book nature of the story makes everything feel segmented and separate, which was a huge reason why I thought it was a show for years after the fact, and now that I know it's a series of featurettes, it makes a lot of sense. I understand why they bunched these together with Disney not making a lot of money at the time, so recycling old featurettes made a lot of sense. However, still, when loading it up on Disney Plus now, it feels like I'm binge watching a TV show rather than watching a movie. As for the story itself, it still has that classic Disney charm that everyone loves, and gives you a nice warm feeling while watching. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Gerard Digital Video, follow me on all my social media, and remember, Piglet was wrongly kicked out of his family home because a donkey didn't know how to spell. Take care.